Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a short travel diary and recap of my trip to north of Ninh Binh province. It's the home to one of Vietnam's World Heritage Site, Tràng Scenic Complex, that is recognized by the UNESCO. In addition, if you've watched Kong Skull Island, you might notice that many of the landscapes they use are actually located in this province. So if you like nature and cultural exploration, just keep watching. Ninh Binh is located in the north, 90 kilometers away from Hanoi. There's no direct flight to Ninh Binh, so first we needed to take a flight from Saigon to Hanoi via the domestic airport. Since our flight was delayed, I decided to grab some lunch at the one and only food court inside the waiting area. You could find a variety of Vietnamese and Asian cuisines in this food court, from pho to bread to other typical dishes.
Before boarding the plane, I'm gonna eat some random sushi that I got from Taste of Asia. It's not the best food, but it's like the quickest and most convenient food.
So yes, I got the sushi and it was not particularly outstanding. I mean, it was airport food, so I'd suggest you bring in your own food if you have the chance. You could actually bring in liquid on domestic flights, and I believe there was no restriction on the size, but you better double check this fact though. Finally, it was time to board the plane. My trip to Ninh Binh was only 2 days and 2 nights long, so we only had time to go to 3 attractions, namely the Đính Pagoda, Tràng Boat Tour, and Hoa Lu Capital. All of these attractions were part of the Tràng Scenic Complex. However, they were located outside the city. You could rent a bike or go with a tour. I think there were also some homestays around the area.
Okay guys, so we just arrived at the airport. Now I'm gonna pick up my luggage, and then after that we'll hop on a bus to go to Ninh Binh. It takes around 2 hours. Yeah, a long ride.
However, our driver made a mistake and went into the city instead of going around it, so we ended up in the peak hour traffic. It was horrible. A 2 hours ride easily became a 4 hours ride. Everyone was dead tired. This time round, I stayed at a hotel called Hidden Charm. It was a pretty decent 4-star hotel. It was one of the hotels that were relatively closer to the tourist spots. However, if you want more of a local vibe, I think the homestay would be a cheaper and better option.
Anyway, so I'm going to have dinner now. After that, I'm going to come back and just sleep, because tomorrow's going to be a long day. I'm going to visit the pagoda and Tràng, like the sceneries there. Okay guys, so I just got back from dinner. I'm quite surprised that they didn't serve any like specialties such as their goat or snails. Anywho, the food is okay. I mean, it's hotel food. I can't expect more of it. See you guys tomorrow. Good morning guys. Actually, I overslept. I'm just gonna rush off to breakfast now, and then after that we'll go straight to the pagoda. I don't know if you can see, but actually the hotel's really close to the scenery, like to Tràng, as you can see here. So I'm quite excited. Anyway, breakfast first.
Off on the road we went. A bit of background on Đính Pagoda. Đính Pagoda is the largest spiritual and cultural complex of pagodas dedicated to Buddhism in Vietnam. It consists of both the ancient and the newly renovated temples. During the first lunar month, the pagoda will host a festival that draws in a lot of the local crowd. Unfortunately, we did not have time to visit a lot of the places within the complex. Hence, when we reached the place, we decided to take an electric car up to the old temple, which was located at the foothill. After that, we took a shortcut, aka beating off track, up the hill to the new temple. Yeah, people did not expect this, so not everyone was well prepared for the mini hike. Anyway, it was okay, we made it to the top, and the view was spectacular. We saw Tam Thế Hall, which was the largest structure in the complex devoted to Buddha. From its courtyard, you could also see other structures such as the temple tower, great bell, and statues.
I don't know if the camera does the sceneries justice, but it's really beautiful guys. Like, the weather is not that hot. There's this like foggy cloud covering the pagoda and the sceneries and the river, mountains, temples. It's so pretty.
I really loved the details that went into the construction of the complex. There were a lot of intricate patterns and designs. Nevertheless, it was quite consistent in the sense that the temples and pagodas followed a traditional Vietnamese phoenix tails finials. Honestly, the footage did not do the place justice. It was breathtaking, and the scale of the construction really blew me away. So after that, we made our descent. Along the way, there were many art statues made out of stones, aka statues of the monks who have achieved nirvana. There were around 500 of them, I believe, quite a long stretch down the staircase. However, I was a bit annoyed at the people who were touching the monks' knees hoping that they would get good fortune according to our local superstition. I mean, the temple already warned us not to touch the statues, so as a basic act of respect, we should follow the temple's notice. Either way, the statues were all unique, and I really liked how each statue had its own personality. At the end of the tour, I got this green bean ice cream because I was so hot even though it was on a cloudy day. After that, we took an electric car back to where we started. You can also buy souvenirs if you want. They sell a range of handicrafts and harem pants.
Hey guys, so I just got back to the hotel. We're gonna eat lunch first and then we're gonna head off to Trang later. I'm like dead tired right now.
Tràng Grottoes are located near the margin of the Red River Delta. It's known for its 2-hour-long boat tour that takes you along the river to see breathtaking views of limestone karst, caves, and fields. Besides its scenic landscape, these grottoes also reveal the archaeological deposits that are significant to Vietnam's history. I'll talk more about this later when we visit the ancient capital. If you have watched Kong Skull Island, you would know that they filmed part of the movie here. However, even before the blockbuster, I've always wanted to take this boat ride to see the beautiful landscapes. It's dubbed the Hat Long Bay on land, but I think it's even better because compared to Hat Long Bay, it's still relatively untouched and raw in my opinion. So we paddled along the river and through a few caves. Some caves we had to duck and sit on the floor because they were very narrow. I was relatively small size, so it wasn't really a problem. However, if you're claustrophobic, this might be a teeny weeny scare for you. However, if you take a closer look, you could see the snails and shells on the cave walls. After all, these limestones showcase the evolution of both human society and the environment. I also took this chance to row. Honestly, I don't know how these superwomen did this, but they were literally rowing for 2 hours straight. I only rowed for 30 minutes and my arms felt like they were going to fall off. The last stop for this boat tour was the movie set for Kong Skull Island. It was located on the small island. There was also a local temple there. Basically, the locals recreated some of the props that were used in the movie, namely the boat and the huts of the tribe in the movie. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the boat tour. Even though it was super sunny, it was worth the 2 hours ride. The scale of the limestones, combined with the greenery that surrounded the area, were visually calming and inspiring. I forgot to mention, on our way to the boat tour, I noticed that there were a lot of restaurants and farmers that sell goat meat. Ninh Binh is actually quite famous for this dish. The local farmers raise free-range goats that roam freely in the forest mountains. However, I didn't get to try many local dishes because I was on a tour, so we ate in the hotel most of the time. Last but not least, the final destination for this vlog was the ancient capital of Hoa Lư. Hoa Lư was the first capital of Vietnam, also known as Dat Go Viet back then. It was established by the people's hero and emperor Đinh Tiên Hoàng, the first emperor of Vietnam following its independence from the Han dynasty. The capital was stationed between two mountains in Ninh Binh province for over 3 dynasties, namely the Đinh dynasty, early Lê dynasty, aka Tiền Lê, and the beginning of the Lý dynasty. Emperor Lý Thái Tổ then moved the capital to Thăng Long, where Hanoi is today, because he felt Hoa Lư was too narrow for him to expand and grow the country. Anyway, I'm not going to go deep into the Vietnamese history. However, this capital did play an important role in establishing Vietnamese society, from cultural to political and warfare. It was very interesting. You can read up the full history online. So we got to visit temples that were built by the people in honor of Emperor Đinh Tiên Hoàng, Emperor Lê Đại Hành, and Queen Dương Văn Nga, who was married to both. And that pretty much summed up my trip to Ninh Binh. Even though it was a short stay, I truly enjoyed the cultural enriching experience. If you are ever traveling to North Vietnam, do consider Trang as a potential travel destination. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!